Well, it's a cold and frosty morning at Emirates Old Trafford, and alongside me is Graham Onions. Graham, a new chapter opens up in the Onions' career after time at Durham as a player and time at Lancashire as a player, and then bowling coach. You've decided it's time to move back to your roots.
Yeah, mixed of emotions, I suppose, in many ways. Of course, you brought me here at Lancs, and I've had a number of very enjoyable years, but also I think it's a time now for me to spend a bit more time with my family, which is probably one of the main reasons. It certainly takes its toll in many ways. Obviously, getting on the road, and I know it's only 140 odd miles, but doing that every week, sometimes more than once, it's time for me to go back and, as I said, spend some time with the family and kind of get stuck into a new, exciting role.
But when you look back, you've finished your playing career here, having had a very good career, obviously, at Durham and playing international cricket for England as well. No regrets about coming here and finishing off?
No, none whatsoever. If anything, probably the best decision I made, really. And at the time, it was an interesting decision because obviously I wanted to stay at Durham. Things didn't quite work out the way I wanted to. Of course, did I ever think I would play for such a great county, Lancashire? Absolutely not. No, played against them many times and thought, that is a great county, great players. But of course, when I made that move, it was a really good decision. I've kind of flipped to the side of being incredibly fit, working with some great people, S&Cs. Of course, I was a bit older, so S&Cs and Sam Byrne, the physios, and some fantastic coaches. And actually, if anything, I had 2 or 3 personally really successful years.
Yeah,
I was fit and strong, and I loved it. Obviously, off the pitch didn't quite go quite as well with the first year getting relegated. That was disappointing. But of course, we made amends for that, and we got promoted the next year. So, great county, great people, really good supporters, beautiful place.
What's it like bowling on there, though?
Like a slab of concrete. It's
hard
tough.
work.
Yeah, it's not easy. And actually, I mean, I found that straight away as soon as I. So of course you play at Durham, and notoriously the pitches were a little bit bowler friendly. You can pitch the ball a little bit more. Get the LBWs in the edges. We played my first game here against Nottingham, rock hard pitch. Pitched the ball a little bit more, and I think I went for 4.5 throughout the day, and I struggled to find my length a little bit. Second innings, bowled a lot better. And just that ability to, of course, as a senior bowler, understand that actually I'm going to have to just drag my length back a little bit more. And from then on, I did pretty well. So once again, as a it's a great place to play, but as a fast bowler, it's tough.
You've suffered a few trials and tribulations in your career. Fundamentally, a pretty serious back injury that ultimately saw the end of your career. But you went pretty well into your mid-late 30s as a bowler, which is good anyway. So you've had that experience behind you. You've had international experience. You've played at Durham. You've won a county championship. You've had time here. Do you feel pretty well equipped to move on now and extend that coaching career? Has it given you a good basis for coaching?
Yeah, I've certainly feel as though I've built a lot of resilience over my career, really, I suppose. And actually, it's a quite a big story of when I had my first injuries. I was playing for England. I was centrally contracted. Everything was all rosy. Everything was going well. I was bowling really nicely. Of course, I got injured. Went in the last year of my contract. Didn't think I was ever going to play again. So that's when I started the process of doing my level 3 coaching badge, which took a bit of time, but still had desires, of course, as you would, to keep on playing. 16 months later, started to play cricket again, started to enjoy it a bit more, and then of course I went through another spell of injury, so I started to think about me coaching badges in level 4. So I went through all the badges there, and of course the opportunity to come here at Lancs and once again learn from very good coaches, which was once again was part of the main reasons for coming here, was of course to win something and play in a really good team, but also to develop me as a person, as a bowler, but as a coach as well, because I knew that's where I wanted to go. and I've found out throughout my coaching, well, a fairly young coaching career as such, although I've done it I've been level 4 for 6 or 7 years now.
You've only really been coaching for 3 years, haven't you?
Yeah.
Roundabout?
Yeah,
well, I mean, since you stopped playing. But
yeah, with the pure responsibility of actually gaining the respect of the players as a coach and not necessarily as a player, as you know, that lasts a little while. But how you interact with certain players, you know, might be overseas coming in, they don't really necessarily know you as a player. So gaining that respect and that understanding of different things. You know, at times is a learning development, but of course you ask for advice, and I still ask for advice now from everybody, really, trying to get as much information as I can and learn and develop. And ultimately my passion and my desire from playing to coaching is still the same. I love it. I want to try and help people get better. That's pretty much it.
You've already said that you want to go back to Durham, quite obviously to be closer to home and live at home. But what about the role that you're going to take up there? What does that entail?
Yeah, a really good question. I mean, I think it's a bit of a sideways step with regards to the role itself. Do I see potential to go higher up and potentially, you know, be assistant head coach and maybe one day be a head coach? Possibly, yeah. I think that I do see an opportunity there. But equally, did I see an opportunity to do that here? Then I would have said that yes as well. I was very lucky and very thankful for the opportunity to do the 50 over competition this year.
I was going to say, how did that added responsibility sit?
A bit different to what I've kind of been used to, which is one which I found a bit tricky, but also really enjoyed. You know, you're going from, you know, of course, working with players to try and get them in the team, and then also you're in charge of the team, and you're thinking, you know, can he get in the team? Is he going to do a good enough role in that? I suppose in my team as such. Of course, it wasn't just my team. You speak to coaches in and around that to try and get people's opinion and what direction, of course, Chile and the club are going towards. But I loved it. I really enjoyed it. I had it was a little spark there, which I thought, you know, actually I've enjoyed that. Ultimately, there is a learning curve with regards to you can't keep everyone happy. People want to play. You can only play 11 players. So, and I think back to my time where I maybe didn't play a T20 or didn't play a game or even international cricket, and I would always challenge, you know, why aren't I playing? And actually being a very old looking 41-year-old, is that I've got a bit more experience to deal with, you know, certain situations now more than I ever have before.
Did you not feel quite ready or experienced enough to apply for the role here?
Once again, well,
did you think you missed? Did you think about it? I don't know. You might.
No, I did. No, definitely.
You might have applied. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. And a little bit of this would be, and this is me being honest, is Carl Crowe is an outstanding coach. So obviously he's still in that setup, and I think he, in my opinion, would deserve an opportunity to take that role.
Yeah.
And I would love to kind of did think as well, I would love to work alongside with him. But once again, that opportunity just came up at a time where obviously the head coach role had came up here, and I was thinking about it. And as soon as that role came up at Durham, it was, of course, I mentioned it to, in fact, it was my wife that said, "Have you noticed the role that's just come up?" And I think I thought straight away, yeah, it's time to go home and work. Obviously, with an exciting group of bowlers and exciting coach.
Just got promoted as well.
They're playing some good cricket, and well, I'm excited for the future. It's going to be both for Lancs, but also for me going home and you know, seeing where the future is going to be.
So when you do disappear off into the sunset back to the northeast, what's your abiding memory of Emirates Old Trafford in Lancashire?
Well, the ground itself, the facilities, just little things like creating memories and working with some great coaches and developing really me as a person. Coming from a slightly smaller county where, you know, you can walk out the change rooms and basically say everybody in the office, to having a very different feel of employing, you know, over 100 people, well over that, and just meeting different people and socialising in many different ways, and but equally ultimately having the same drive and that determination to work hard on and off the field and to win trophies. As I said, we didn't quite do that, but we came close and we gave it our best effort, and that's all we can ask for, really.
Graham, it's been great to be associated with you for the last 5 years. Lancashire will be indebted to your efforts, both on the field and off. And we wish you all the best in your future in the North East at Durham.
Yeah, thanks, Walt. Thanks very much.